Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I've got news out of Jones County where Attorney General Jeff Jackson will be in Pollocksville today. He's going to highlight the more than $200 million in storm resiliency fund FEMA canceled for the state. Jones County town was supposed to get $1.1 million in building resilient infrastructure and communities funding, according to a release from the Attorney General's office. The release says the money would have been used to elevate the floors of commercial buildings to help prevent future flooding. When Hurricane Florence hit in 2018, Pollocksville experienced severe flooding, with about 75 buildings sustaining major damage. In 2023, Pollocksville Railroad train station and town hall flooded by Florence were moved. Attorney General Jackson, Mayor Jay Bender, and others will be at today's event. There will also be a walking tour that begins at 1 p.m. at the Pollocksville Town Hall. Now, Roy Cooper visited the town when he was governor in 2022 to celebrate the ongoing recovery. Now, we also again want to highlight the continuing ongoing trade wars between the Trump administration along with the EU and specifically France. NBC's Alice Barr has more on the latest.
President Trump this morning debuting a new golf course at one of his Scotland resorts, a detour into private business after talking trade with UK and European leaders, including a new EU agreement.
Thank you very much.
Ahead of a Friday deadline when higher tariffs kick in for countries that haven't reached a deal, the president saying they'll face a global baseline tariff.
It'll be somewhere in the 15 to 20% range.
While meeting with allies, the president also looking to foreign wars, promising to shorten his 50-day deadline for Russian President Vladimir Putin to end his war in Ukraine.
I'm going to make a new deadline of about 10 or 12 days from today. There's no reason in waiting.
President Trump threatening new sanctions and secondary tariffs on Russia's trade partners, again voicing frustration with Putin.
Every time I think it's going to end, he kills people.
While also breaking with Israeli Benjamin Netanyahu over his assessment that there's no starvation in Gaza.
Some of those kids that's real starvation stuff. I see it, and you can't fake that.
President Trump promising more U.S. support to establish desperately needed food centers with fewer restrictions amid global outcry over the extreme lack of access to food and rising deaths from malnutrition. Israel began allowing airdrops and limited pauses in fighting for aid delivery. But humanitarian groups warn the trickle of aid entering Gaza is not enough to stave off famine. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, thank you very much, Alice, for that report. We now turn our attention to your forecast, where right now we've got another First Alert weather day today due to the heat and humidity. The good news is we've actually dropped tomorrow from the First Alert weather day status, as again air temperatures may be just below that heat advisory designation. Not so today. Right now 84 degrees outside in New Bern. Right now feels like 94 when you factor in the 77-degree dew point. It is hot and it is humid, and it is again going to be another steamy day in eastern North Carolina. But we are anticipating a sea breeze front getting going and creating some shower opportunities later on in the afternoon, particularly for those of you watching a little bit closer to the Crystal Coast. Right now, current air temperatures ranging generally in the low to mid 80s throughout most of eastern North Carolina. Hottest spot on the map right now, Oriental, currently coming in at 87 degrees. But that's, of course, just what your air temperatures are showing. Currently feels noticeably warmer, already feels like we're in the triple digits for Jacksonville, Oriental, as well as Edenton. It is going to again be a hot and humid day. Humidity up from where it was yesterday afternoon. Right now, dew points more in the upper 70s to low 80s. Get ready for, again, that humidity to make the heat today feel just a little bit more oppressive. Now, your heat alerts There's a portion of eastern North Carolina that is without any heat advisories today, but some of us are still in that advisory criteria territory. Looking at Pamlico, Craven, Lenoir, Wayne, Duplin, Onslow, Carteret, Jones, Wilson, Edgecombe, Nash, and Halifax counties. Again, that will last until 8 p.m. tonight, but there will be some rain showers around coming up later on today. There again, you can see some of those showers kind of hanging around the Crystal Coast. Inland areas, I would say closer to 264, probably not seeing much activity in terms of rain showers today. Tomorrow that may change as rain showers look like they're going to try to spread out a little bit more. But overall, again, it's the high pressure system dying that's really going to help our rain chances moving forward. That again is really what's keeping all of eastern North Carolina from seeing more extensive pop-up showers and storms in the afternoon, but that high is getting weaker. We've got our eyes on the frontal boundary that's set to develop coming up tomorrow off the backside of the Rocky Mountains. There you can see kind of that cluster of showers and storms. That is the beginning of the cold front that will bring us some relief. That whole system again will just slowly push its way across the southeastern United States, finally delivering some cooler weather by the time again we get into the upcoming weekend. Check that out, 82 degrees, 73 on Sunday, and overnight lows dipping down into the mid to upper 60s. That is going to feel far more comfortable than what we've been dealing with over the past several days, and it's certainly something again that I know most eastern North Carolinians are looking forward to. Lower temperatures. It's not going to be super cool. We're still going to be in the 80s, but lower humidity as well. That is certainly going to allow us to breathe a little bit easier. Well, that's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.